America Election News. Stormy Daniels recalls awful Trump encounter. In a new documentary, Stormy Daniels has exposed additional disturbing details regarding her encounter with former President Donald Trump in 2006. Trump allegedly trapped and humped the adult film star in his hotel room, contrary to her earlier claims that the incident was consensual. Daniels admitted in the documentary that she continues to feel guilty about her failure to stop Trump. These fresh information have surfaced just as Trump has been officially named the Republican presidential nominee for the next U.S. election. In a new documentary, Stormy Daniels discusses her time working with Donald Trump. Stormy Daniels is supposedly opening out more in a new documentary regarding her sexual experience with former U.S. President Donald Trump in 2006. Daniels accuses Trump of cornering and humping her in his hotel room in the documentary Stormy, which premieres on Peacock on March 18. Producer Aaron Lee Carr and director Sarah Gibson's nearly 2-hour documentary features interviews with Daniels' friends and family as well as famous Hollywood figures like Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Rogen. Reporters like Denver Nix and Olivia Nuzzi, who began dating Daniels during their time working together on the project, also testified. In her book Stormy, the adult film star discussed the time leading up to her confrontation with Trump and the outcome of her lawsuit. Among these is the purported hush money payment of $130,000 that the Wall Street Journal broke first. Trump allegedly paid the settlement to appease Daniels in the days leading up to the 2016 presidential election, according to the prosecution. Federal prosecutors sued Trump using the settlement funds to accuse him of creating false company records. Prosecutors said the entrepreneur's Akachankilde scheme included the payment, which led to his indictment. Michael Cohen, Trump's former attorney, stated under oath that Trump approved the payment, despite Trump's repeated denials of knowing Stormy or paying her off. Trump allegedly cornered and humped Stormy Daniels, according to her claims. On an episode of a 60 Minutes, airing in 2018, Daniels gave her version of events surrounding the purported sexual encounter between Trump and herself. Although she insisted at the time that it was totally consensual, her account in the new documentary paints a very different picture. Daniels allegedly told the Los Angeles Times that the business magnate cornered her after she left the restroom for a moment following their initial encounter in his hotel room. The next thing Stormy knew, he was humming and gushing over how wonderful she was, and she couldn't recall how she got on the bed. "I felt terrible. I was only being diplomatic." Daniels reiterated her earlier claims that Trump did not rape her in a later segment of the program, arguing that she never physically rejected him. "I was 9 years old again," she said, "but I didn't say no." As Daniels had previously mentioned in her biography Full Disclosure, this was an allusion to her childhood sexual abuse at the hands of a neighbor. The adult film star takes some of the blame for what happened. Daniels admitted in her new documentary that she has had a hard time moving on because she blames herself for not rejecting Trump sooner. She remarked, "Maybe he should think twice before trying it with someone else because I failed to shut his down in that moment. To this day, I blame myself and I have not forgiven myself." Trump may have abused other women after the adult film star, and the star herself feels is somewhat accountable for them. Former model Amy Doris and writer Natasha Stoyanov were among those who leveled charges against the lawmaker in the years leading up to and following Daniels' initial revelation. Super Tuesday appeared to solidify Trump's ticket as the Republican contender for the forthcoming presidential election against Joe Biden, and the release of Daniels' new documentary follows closely next. Nikki Haley, his last ticket opponent, has formally confirmed that she is ceasing her campaign. Through his campaign spokesperson, Stephen Chung, Trump has now addressed Daniels' latest documentary. "If Stormy Daniels wants to change her story for financial gain, she will," he told the Los Angeles Times. She has already suffered a crushing legal defeat and is still indebted to President Trump for more than $600,000 for defamation, which she has still not paid. The documentary is nothing more than a low-budget fantasy sequel for a has-been pseudo-celebrity, and she has never revealed the truth about President Trump, according to Chung. Once again, she has exposed herself to enormous legal risk and will shortly face consequences. Since then, Stormy Daniels claims she has been the target of harassment and threats. Daniels discussed the treatment she has experienced since accusing Trump in the new documentary. She described intense harassment and threats of physical violence, which made her and her daughter afraid for their safety. In addition, the author discussed her time working with Michael Avenatti, who had a prior conviction for embezzling from Daniels' book earnings 2 years prior. Even after Avenatti's appeal, a federal appeals court unanimously upheld the conviction on Wednesday. Despite the hostility she has faced, Daniels claims she will not remain silent on her encounter with Trump and the ways in which the legal system let her down. Regardless of whether I just managed to persuade a small number of people, I am here today to share my experience, she declared. Even if it doesn't work, my daughter will have the truth to remember.